Good afternoon, guys. Rahul, would you like me to start or give a couple of minutes?
Yes, Mitesh.
Okay. In the meantime, just go ahead and connect to the console, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
When you're ready, share the screen, Rahul.
Okay.
And log into the Tomcat server, Rahul. Login as root. And I think we have installed Tomcat under OPT. Go to the directory and just check and see if Tomcat is running. Okay, so today, instead of 0.64, the change I have done, Rahul, is I have earlier tested on 0.54. I downloaded that version. We were getting the manager issues and authentication issues, so both of them have been resolved. So I backed it up into the Tomcat 0.64 folder, and the Tomcat folder that we have right now is the 0.54 version. That is just an FYI.
Okay.
So go into the folder. Yeah, okay. Just do ps -ef -ef and grep for Tomcat. Pipe it and grep for Tomcat. Okay, so we do have something coming up here, which means it is running. And go to the public IP and access the 8080 port. Okay, you can refresh that if that's on. And access the manager app. If you recall yesterday, what we did was back to the git bash. I think, where was it? Can you do a find? I think it was context.xml. It was in, just do a find. Do a find.
It was in con.
Pardon? It was in the conf directory. The context. No. The context.xml is in different directory, Rahul.
Tomcat user or context.
Okay, cat the context.xml. Not this one. I think it is in manager web INF, I think. I do a find root name and context.xml. Find root / name context.xml. Context. Yeah. And I think it is the one in the manager and the host. Wait, we don't need 0.64. We need the below one. OPT Tomcat. The last two ones, just do a cat of those context.xml.
Last two ones.
Yeah. So if you recall, notice we have commented the value class name, remote address. So this allows us to add, access the Tomcat from any other IP address other than the 127.0.0.1, which is the local host, okay? CAD, the next one also, we have made a similar change if you recall.
So here you have commented, right?
Yes.
Last time we were not adding this exclamation.
Yesterday you commented this, Rahul.
No. When we did last time, when we did commenting on this file, we were not adding this this exclamation.
You were not?
Adding this exclamation.
No, we did.
Yeah.
We did, Rahul. That's the right way to comment XML. Otherwise, it would not even accept it.
Okay, maybe this was the issue when we were doing that.
No, nobody. Because I know XML, right? I mean, I couldn't have missed that. We commented it. The backup is there in the 0.64 if you want to still look at it.
Okay, no problem.
But
And should I get second part also?
Oh, can I cat that one also? Okay, notice that is commented, the value class name. And so we're able to access this one. But this allowed us to access it from our public IP. The second problem we faced was when you click on the manager, if you recall, we were getting another manager/HTML link problem. I think that is still there with the 0.64 version, but in a slightly earlier version, 0.54, they did not face, we did not have that issue. So now what we need to do is, do you go back to the browser? Let's see. Do you by any chance have you copy pasted the users and the roles that I sent you yesterday?
Sir.
Okay, one more.
But we can see here.
Yeah, cat, that old one in 0.64. In the meantime, let me see if I'm able to find it here anywhere.
This one was the file, but
the file is tomcatusers.xml.
yeah, this I have catted the file.
Yeah. So what we'll do? So this is you're looking the Tomcat directory, right?
Yes.
So there
In
are
Tomcat directory, I did cat on this file.
Yeah, do pwd. Okay, so this is the Tomcat. This is the 0.54 version. If you notice, there are 2 roles and 3 users, but all the 3 of them are commented here. So go ahead, vi that file and delete all of them. No, only 2 roles and 3 users. And let me see. Come back here. Okay. Let me share a couple of them. Okay, so we'll create 4 roles here. Let me share this one more time. This one. Pasting it in the chat window. Yeah, delete these 5 lines, Rahul. Pasting the new roles. Copy paste the ones I've sent in the chat window. Right there. Okay, so we have one and remove the spacing just so that it won't take that as a special character in front of the role. Okay. So if you notice, we have 4 roles and 3 users. The manager GUI is the one we are trying to accept. We are trying to access. That role allows the people, anybody in that role, any users in that role can access the manager GUI. Manager script is a role. Generally, it is used to access the Tomcat programmatically or from one instance to another instance. Manager JMX, I think that's a Java messaging service. I don't really, we don't really use that, or we don't really have to deal with that. Manager status also, it's I think just sending a status and things like that. So those are the 4 roles among the 3 users: admin, deployer, and Tomcat. Admin is admin. They can do everything and anything. They're like the super user. Deployer is generally used for the other machines or instances to access the Tomcat programmatically and executes scripts. And Tomcat is just a user for which we will use. So go ahead and copy the password here, S3CRET, copy that one. Copy that and write and quit this. Then go to the browser and the username, enter the username as Tomcat. Password is secret. Sign in. Okay, so this is the manager GUI. And if you scroll down on the left-hand side, what you're seeing is these are the current applications and things like that. Click on manager on the left-hand side.
Manager.
No, on the left-hand side. Oops, not that one, below that one. No, here, buddy, on the left-hand side, lower corner. Left-hand side, lower corner. You're looking on the right. Left-hand side. Come left-hand side, buddy.
Okay.
Path. No, under the path you have, yeah. I think we're already there. That's what this is. This is the manager. Click on host manager. So again, host manager also. Just try giving Tomcat and secret. Or I think we can give admin and admin. What will give a try? Give admin and admin.
Not asking for password.
From the go back 2 times to the main screen, and there's a host manager. Host manager here. Oh, okay. I think it somehow took the default. It's taking the default. That's okay. We don't need to get in the host manager, but I think we could have just entered the admin and admin. So let's see. Okay, now what we have done is the Tomcat 0.54 is installed. Now we need to integrate Jenkins with the Tomcat. So let's say, go back to the Git bash. Oh, I'm sorry, go back to Jenkins. And manage Jenkins. And go to the available and just say, type, I'm sorry, manage plugins. Available. Search for deploy to. Deploy space 2. Look in install. Maybe we already installed it. Click on install. Deployed container. Just do a search, yeah. Okay. So we already installed deploy to. Then I think we may have added the credentials also. Go back to the manage Jenkins. And let's see, manage credentials, Jenkins, global, Tomcat deployed. Credential has been recorded, used anywhere. Okay, so I think we've already used this one, so we don't need to. Okay, back to manage Jenkins. Click on new item. We'll create a new item and we'll try to build and deploy the job automatically. That's what we'll try to do now rather than doing it manually. So just say build underscore deploy, then select Maven project. Click on OK. Okay, say build with Maven and deploy on Tomcat. Then under the source code management, click on Git. And if you still have that Git clone tab, copy the Git clone URL.
So can you share it again?
It is, what is this? github.com/scigraph/jwebapp. github.com. github.com. scigraph/jwebapp. Okay, clone it, copy that, paste it there. I don't think you need to give any credentials here because this is GitHub and it's a public. Master, I think you can leave it as it is. Then come to the goals, scroll down, say clean install. Then go to the build settings, add post build action, deploy var/EAR to a container. Yeah, up. And let's say here, I think what we need to do is we can give *************************** and in the containers, choose expand that, scroll down and select Tomcat 8.x remote. The 9 has some versions last time. Deploy, yeah. Have you 8.x, okay. Tomcat URL is going to be your public IP :8080. And apply and save.
Do we need to pass this context now?
No. Okay, click on build now. This is a manual build. And let's give it a moment. Click on that. Console.
So this will deploy on, but what is Tomcat? Can you?
Tomcat is a Java web server. Generally on a Tomcat web server, all the web applications are deployed and web applications from there. So what we are right now doing is we manually install Tomcat web server. And what we are now doing is we are deploying a Java web application in the form of a .war file. This is generally the process. The Java developers create their application, they get it into the GitHub, and we are creating a WAR file. Sometimes you create, sometimes they only give it to you, the deployment file. So the WAR file, what we are doing is we are building it. So in other words, from GitHub, Jenkins is getting the code. It is giving it to the Maven. Maven is building it and creating a WAR file. The WAR file is now getting deployed in the Apache Tomcat server. And if you look at that last second line, deploying warlib Jenkins, go to that directory and just verify if that file is there, webapp.war. Target, yeah. go ahead and log in as a root user. Just because we are doing most of the commands as root. So if you notice, the webapp.war is already there. That is if I do an lsltr. Just type in lsltr.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not in that directory. Okay. Webapp.war no3 Jenkins, and so the Jenkins deployed the webapp.war at this location. So now, if you go into the directory webapp, we need to go into the workspace, and we need to, you can go into that directory, and you should see index.jsp. Go into source, target, sorry. List it. Okay, come back to the, go into the web app directory now. List it, cat the index.jsp. Now, okay, so this, I have the this thing already created here, scroll up. So this is some HTML code. Ideally, developer may have put this HTML or JavaScript or Java, whatever the thing is, they will put here. So if we try to access, what is this one? This is going to act like an application on the Tomcat server. So now go back to the Tomcat server. Over here, where you have :80, now go into Manager app, click on Manager app, scroll down. If you see on the left-hand side, there is a /web app. Click on that. Below Manager, there is a web app. That is the new application we just deployed. Click on that. So that is our application. In our application right now, what is happening is they're asking our name and things like that. So as you enter their information, it gets saved and things like that. That is generally the code that the developers write. You input something, you can say register. They will generally put the validations and things like that also, okay. So, okay. Yeah, we're getting the problem because that is just a simple web app. They have not saving the data to database and things like that. But ideally, the web app is, we manually deployed the web app on the Tomcat server, which is in a CI/CD. It needs to be automated. That is what we are trying to. That is the next step that we'll be trying to achieve. Okay, so now back to let's say where is this one? Back to the Jenkins server. And before you go to the, okay, if you do the, okay, yeah, I think we'll need to go back to Jenkins server, which is, I'm in the Git bash. And where should we go? We are in the web app. Do a CD, PWD. Okay, so we can clone, we need to clone that one more time. Okay, okay, let's go ahead and clone it. Git clone space, copy the URL of the GitHub project. I mean this one, jwebapp.git. Enter. Okay, list it. So there is a JWeb app. And now what we'll do is we'll try to make some changes to this one in the GitHub. I like a developer. Our objective is whenever a change is done, the Jenkins build needs to kick in. The build needs to happen by Maven. The Maven and then the Jenkins, once the Maven builds the war file, Jenkins needs to go back and deploy it automatically on Tomcat server. That is what our goal is. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to make a couple of versions of modifications on the JWeb app, and we'll try to automate this process. Okay.
Okay.
So what we'll do is, let's say, we did a git clone and go into the web app directory. And let's say, list it, please. Sorry, Docker file. Right. What I'm looking at is we did a git clone, and it should bring up the master, right? Why am I not seeing the master here? Okay. Let's say git status. The branch is up to date. Okay. Okay. Let's we're in the web app. List it, please. Go into the web app directory. CD web app. List it. Now go into the source. List. Main. List. Web app. List. Cat the index.jsp. Okay, scroll up. Okay, now VI this file. Okay, here what you do is please fill in this form, enter name, enter mobile. So what we'll do, okay, well, now in the next line there is a BR. In the next line there is a BR. Delete that BR. Delete that line. Yeah, say write and quit. So in other words, we are making a modification. And let's say, so now say git status. Modified file is in index. So say git add star, git add dot, add space dot. So that is to the staging server. Then say git commit -m space -m. Oops. No, quit out of this. Git commit space -m for mother. And within double quotes, just say updated the index.jsp. Enter. Okay, so let's say your name and email address were configured automatically based on your username. Please share. Oh, okay, I see. So I think you will need to, this is going to check into my thing. You may need to open a GitHub here. So what we'll do is, you already have an account in GitHub. Last time I think we opened, right, Rahul?
Yes.
Go back and log into GitHub. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll create a new repository here. So I think there's a plus sign. Okay. On the right hand side, if you see there's a plus sign on the top. Say new repository and say JWeb app. We'll keep it private. I'm sorry, we'll keep it public and scroll down. I think the rest of them can be left as the defaults, say create repository. So now what we want to do is ideally we want to upload, push that from there to here, and push origin and master. Getting it down. So we brought it from another one, right? So what we want to do is we want to push it here. Okay, go back to your git bash. And okay, what we'll do is we need to sync up these two. So what did I do? I created a repository there. From here, I pushed it. I just need to push it to this one. So say, well, one more time, go back two parent directories. CD space, okay. Go back two parent directories one more time. J web app, okay. Go one more parent directory. Oh, no. Back to J web app. We want to check this one to J, everything in J web app to the GitHub. Yeah, these are all the files we want to check in. So here we'll say git clone and paste that one. Paste your repository. Yeah. Okay. You appear to have cloned an empty repository. Okay, now say git status. JWeb app. Okay. So use git add file. Okay, say git add git space add space dot file adding file. JWeb does not have a commit. Oh, does not have a commit checked out. Should does not have a commit to git add, and then we need to, okay, yeah, just look at that one. Look at the browser. We just need to follow similar instructions. So I think start with git init, git remote add origin, git branch, push. Okay, say start with git init. Reinitialized, okay, good one. Now say git status. Okay, now say git add space star. Enter. Does not have a code. Adding files failed. I know we need to configure the username and password, but give me one moment. You did a git clone. Git add, git commit. Why don't you just say git commit? Git commit -m, maybe something like a first commit or something. Yeah, just copy that. Nothing added to commit, but untagged files present. Use git add. When we use git add, it's saying your branch is ahead of origin by master. Use git push. Interesting. Push is the last one, right? Say one more time, git add dot. Commit checked out. We get do a git status, please. Okay, and your branch is ahead of by one commit. Untracked files, JWeb app. Okay, to include in what will be git add file. Okay, why don't you say git add and JWeb app? You're in the JWeb app, right? Star should work, man. I'm still surprised. Say git add star. It's not our commit checked out. Go into the index.jsp folder. I think you need to go 3 or 4 levels into the do a tree. Click type in tree. You can directly tree is not found. Okay, forget about that. Just list it. I think you need to go into the source main. Go into web app /source/main. Why is wait. There is a J web app here. What is that J web app? Click on CD J web app.
We did that git clone using my link desktop.
Need to do some cleanup. CD J web app and okay. Remove this J web app. Remove it, buddy. I think it's a directory, right? Okay. Git status. Inches ahead, nothing to commit, working, tree, clean. Say good git push origin master. Origin master.
1 minute. I don't. Yeah. Tell me now.
Enter.
He's why he's in front of a video. He's talking like this. I don't know. So in the.
Okay. Yeah.
Git push origin master.
Enter. That should commit it. Just give it a try. Username. Okay, here you give your username. Password. Try your password. I think it won't accept it, but just give it a try. And let's say, okay, authentication failed. So it is pointing to my. So what we need to do is we need to give an authentication token, but failed for, it is trying to still look at my thing and not your thing. So which means what we'll do is exit out of this, exit the root, get back in as root, and list it. List -a. Let's say we have going to the J web app. And list -a. Okay, and here we need to look for some Git files. See if that .git is a folder or a file.
Yeah, it is a folder.
Yeah, go into that folder. List it. And here we're looking at going to the config.
It is
Cat it. Okay, so we need to change that size graph here to your thing. Go ahead and modify that one to your username. No. Except the size graph, everything is same. Okay. So now, one more time, go back to the previous directory. come on to your CD and list it and go into the J. Okay, so we're in JWeb. Okay. So here what we'll do is say one more time, we'll say git space add space star, enter, git status. Your branch is add, okay, git commit, space -m, and say first commit. Enter. And what does it say? Branches ahead. Okay, nothing to comment. Say git push origin master. Your username. No. Your username of GitHub. Is that your username?
Yeah.
Password it will not accept, but give it a try. If you notice any other window opening, okay. So what we need to do is we need to create. Now go back to your GitHub. And on the right hand side top corner, you're seeing your the blue icon, right? Click on that by right hand side. Yeah, click on that. Go into settings. And go into scroll down on the left hand side, you should see something called developer settings. Yeah. And click on personal access token. Generate new token. Just say, what is this one? JWeb app token. 30 days is okay. Now select the checkbox repo and then scroll down. Click on admin. All the admins. Scroll down. Delete repo and then again an admin. You can check in everything, but we'll just go with the top level. Yeah, GP generate token. Copy this one, paste it into a file. Just in case we'll need that. Okay, now come back and do a git push origin master again. And paste the token. Username is going to be Folding Robo. And paste the token. Okay. So now go back to the GitHub on the browser. Go to your repository. You can just go back. JWeb app. If you notice on the left hand side. Okay, so all our files are there. And go into the web app. And go into the source main web app. Index.jsp. So if you notice, a little change that we have made is we removed the BR. So enter name and enter mobile should come in one line is what it is. Now what we need to do is we will need to deploy this again. We need to build this again. So go back to the Jenkins. Build a new item, back to dashboard. the new item, or just go into the one that we just created. Go back. I think job build underscore deploy. Click on build underscore deploy. The first one. That's the one we just configured. So now what we'll do is go into configure. Just change the git to your git. Here instead of SciGraph, just give your 14 Rahul. No. Click on JWeb app. Now do that. So 14 Rahul and scroll down master, build trigger and pom.clean install, rest all settings should be same, scroll down, .war file, Tomcat and that's the one. Okay, apply and save, then do a build. True. So now access index dot go to the 8080 port and just type in index.jsp. Manager. No. Here we go to, I think you need to type in web app /web app because that's our application. Now say index.jsp. Okay, so notice the enter name and the enter mobile has come on the same line. So change is getting picked up. And one more time, go back to your git bash and put back the BR in that file. No. Oh, you need to go into that, I think, source main folder. So go into the web app. Then source main web app. And no. Go into source main. I think that's where it is. Web app. Listed. Yeah. Put back the BR. I think it is after after that line and after enter full name. Yeah. Closer, did you close a greater than?
Yes.
Yeah, right and quit. Now say git status. Okay, git status. Okay, so that is modified git add dot. That is staging server, enter. Then git commit m -m. That's the second commit. Then let's say git push origin master. Your username and the token you put after that. Okay, now go back to the Jenkins and do a build now on the same thing. Scroll up and build now. Back to project.
currently we are doing this manually, right? This should happen automatically.
I think I may have one more scenario where I'll do manually and then we'll try to automate it. Verify the change. Cool. So the next task is to automate this one. That's what we'll do. And okay, let's take a short 5-minute break and continue from here. Let me know when you're back, Rahul.
Hello.
Share screen, please. Okay, now back to Jenkins. So what do you think is the problem we have faced, or in other words, we are trying to fix now, Rahul?
We want to automate all this.
As simple as that. Okay, so go back to Jenkins, yeah, UI. Scroll up and click on, let's say, back to the project. Click on configure. Okay, so scroll down please, source code management. Then scroll down, build triggers, okay? So if you look at the build triggers, this is something which will automate it. Build whenever a snapshot dependency is built is one of the options. Trigger builds remotely is an option we generally use when we are using multiple instances, multiple servers, upstream and downstream applications. That's when we use triggers build remotely. When you have multiple applications and when your application is part of it, that's when you will trigger it automatically. Build after other projects are built also. It is also similar to where you have your application as part of many other upstream and downstream applications. After project build is done, you want to build it, that's what you will use. Build periodically is generally once in a day or maybe once in a week. You want some builds to be happening irrespective of whenever the developers are checking in the code. And when the builds happen, the final report with the JUnit testing, all those things go to the management and things like that. That's when we use build periodically. GitHub hook is where when a change in GitHub is happening, that's when you can hook it up. But what we will do is we will use poll SCM. Poll SCM, source code management. We will have the Jenkins poll the GitHub. Whenever there is a change in GitHub, GitHub will notify Jenkins and then Jenkins will build it. So if you click on the checkbox poll SCM, this is the one which will automate it. Okay. And let's say schedule. For schedule, what we need to do is go ahead and type in 5 stars with a space separated by a space. Each one separated by a space here. So 5 stars, and let's just give it 1 second. It will automatically just do a tab out of it. Okay, so what it is saying is, do you really mean every minute when you say? So if you give 5 stars, that will be every minute. If you say head star, 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 that is going to be 1 hour. Jenkins is going to keep checking with the GitHub to see if there is any change. If there's any change, it will automatically build it. Okay, and click on where you have schedule question mark, right? Just click on that schedule question mark. Okay, here is the detailed thing where it is explaining star means what, H means what, M means what, all those things. On a need to basis, you look at this one and you either put a HD or M and things like that based on your need. For now, we'll just poll every minute. We'll leave it like that. Then I think you can go ahead and apply and save it. And apply and save it. Now, now it's gone. No. Now what will happen is, now what you do is, okay, let's give it look at the trend. Click on the trend. Let's see if it's automatically picking up anything. Trend.
It's
Scroll down because it is
1 minute.
Okay. So now what we'll do is for the build to automatically pick up. Right now we're at number 3. And so far we have made 3 builds. All these 3 have been made manually. Now we'll try to make it automatic, and that one will be done when we make a change in GitHub. So go back to the Git bash, and let's make another change. Go do a VI on the index.jsp. Index.jsp. Ideally, you will not be doing it. The developers will be doing it. All you will do is that from a Jenkins standpoint, you need to just say, remember that you need to click on the poll SCM. Catching it, Rahul?
Yes, yes.
So here, you have just go back and remove the BR once again, just for the sake of simplicity. Keep it as simple as possible without going into these details. Remove the BR, write and quit. So this is the developer who's making his change. Now go ahead and
Can I remove from here also, because we already did.
yeah. Okay, right. And make sure you only remove because this is HTML. You want to be slightly sensitive to the greater than and less than. Okay. And okay, seems to be looking good. Okay, so now say git add dot. That is to staging server. Next say git commit. Let's say third commit. -m. Third commit. And next git push origin master. Paste it. Now immediately go back to the Jenkins UI. You should see it will automatically pick it up. We don't need to build now. Let's say we're at number 3. Refresh it. Go back to your GitHub. Verify if the change is there. Go into the web app folder. Wait. How come it is not there? Have you done the git push origin master? Have you, in your git bash, have you done the git push origin master?
Yeah.
And you're looking, counting objects. Okay, are we looking at the right place? Come back to the browser. This is in JWeb. Are you in your account? Oh, this is my account, buddy. Go into your 14 Rahul. JWeb. Now go here. Web app. Scroll up. Scroll up. Up. Okay, if you notice on the right hand side, it says latest commit is 1 minute, and notice the BRs are not there. So our commit has been checked in. Now come back to the Jenkins. It should pick up, refresh it. Okay, notice the 4. So if you go back and just for testing and things like that, if you make any other change and things like that, yeah, refresh it. Okay. So what is happening is every 1 minute Jenkins is waiting. How much you configure, you can talk to your team, architect, lead, or somebody like that, and you can set up that periodicity. For us, what you've done is you've used poll SCM. Most of the time we use poll SCM. You don't build, at very 1 minute of things like that. Generally, you'll do a build once or twice a day and things like that is what it is. Most of the time we use poll SCM. You let the Jenkins handle that one. So Jenkins.
We don't need this many jobs. We only need one job, right?
Yeah, you don't need all those jobs. In each of these things, we're adding one scenario here just for the sake of understanding.
And for configuring any Maven or anything? You go to manage Jenkins and you do this here in this tool.
We did manage plugins, and then we come to the global tool configuration. You configure it. There was some settings and things like that. For any plugin, that is generally the process that you follow.
Okay.
Now comes the next one, which is we're going to have the Jenkins handle the Docker also. We're going to plug in. Now what we've been doing is we have separately created a Tomcat server, and Jenkins is deploying it onto the Tomcat server. But now, ideally, we want our application to be running in a container. Catching it, Rahul?
Yes, yes.
So that's what we'll try to do next. For that, go ahead and launch a new instance.
This one for Docker, right?
Let's say call it Docker host or Docker server, something like that. And give me 1 moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. And let's say, yeah, security group.
Yes.
Yeah,
Storage side can be this much.
I think that should be good. Rahul.
Okay. I'm using this Amazon Linux.
Yeah, Amazon, AMI, yeah. Git bash into it. You can use, yeah, you just use another git bash just in case we need the 2 terminals we already have. I will wrap up by 4:45 today, Rahul. I need to get onto a call at that time.
Should I connect to this server also?
Pardon me?
Should I connect to this server, Docker one?
Tomcat, yeah. Just keep it there. Just in case we need, we can quickly go back to Tomcat. So open a new terminal. Text background cursor. So config my. And login as root. And let's see. Yeah, okay. So the first thing we'll try to do is we'll try to install Docker. Let's go ahead and do yum install docker-y space -y. Yeah. And give me one moment here. So, change some settings. Pardon me. Just give me one moment, Rahul. Save options. Okay, let's see where you are. Okay, it is inactive. So let's go ahead and start Docker. You can say systemctl start Docker. And verify the status of it. It's active, good. And let's see what it's going to here. Okay, say Docker images. We should not get anything. Next, say Docker ps-a. This should give us all the containers if you recall. Okay, no images, no containers. So then what we'll do is we'll try to pull a Docker image. So let's see. What should we do? Docker image, directly getting to the Docker file here. Okay, so verify your directory, in which directory you are. Okay, list it. Okay, I think we can start with creating a Docker file. So access the hub.docker.com in your browser, hub.docker.com, and then search for Tomcat. Tomcat. Okay, so that is a Docker official image. So Docker pull Tomcat. Go ahead and do Docker pull Tomcat. Copy that and paste it here. So if you recall, an image is a group of layers. All of these layers are getting downloaded into that image. Yes. Okay, just say Docker images. Okay, so next I think what we can do is we can start the Docker, but let's see. Verify the containers one more time, Docker ps-a. Okay, so no containers. Now say Docker run -d, then --name, space, let's say Tomcat -container, and space -p, and space will give an external port and an internal port. Let's say 8081:8080. 8081:8080. space, the name of the image is Tomcat. Okay, so if you recall, run means it's taking the image, it is running the image. When you run an image, a container is getting created. Name is just a name, Tomcat container, you can give any name. -P, 8080 is going to be the internal port, but we are going to give the external port as 8081 because we are generally using 8080 for Tomcat and Jenkins and things like that. Here we use 8081 and Tomcat is the name of the image. From that image, it is going to create a container. That is what this is. But before this one, let's go back to the console and open up the port 8081. Just 8081 dash 8081 to what is it? Add after 81, you'll get what? 8900. What is that? Here it is 8081 plus. Add 20 ports to it, buddy. Whatever is the number. Is it 900? If you add 81 or 19 ports to it, what is the number? 8081 to 8081 dash 19. How much is it?
81.
8090. Add 10 more to it. 8100. Yeah, as simple as that. 8100. We'll add 20 ports to it. Anywhere is okay. And 8080 is already there. Okay. So now save it. Now come back and run the container. Okay, that's going to be the container ready. Now, here's -n. Okay, Catalina. Now come back and go back to the browser. Hit the public IP and access the port 8081. Good. Okay. So this is what is happening is, if you notice the error is at the below, it is saying Apache Tomcat 10.0.22, which means the request is hitting the server and it is, no, you won't be able to access 80. It is hitting the server, but there is some problem in the Tomcat. This is an official error, is what is, and what we need to do is there are a few things that we need to manually do for this one. So go back to the Git bash. These are generally some of the troubleshooting techniques that you will come across in some scenarios. So this will be a helpful one. And you're in the Tomcat, right? Let's see where we are. We're running the Tomcat container. We are running the Tomcat. Catalina, exec. Okay, let's get into the Tomcat. So for that, we'll get into the Tomcat container. If you recall, type in docker exec -it space -it interactivity, and the name of the container is Tomcat -container space /bin/bash. So we're going to get into the bash shell of the Tomcat container. Enter. So if you notice on the left-hand side root, and we are right now at user local Tomcat, and we are in the Tomcat container. We are not in the we are not in the IP address. Are you observing that? Yes. So here we need to make some changes for, and these are actually traditionally needs to be taken care of by the developers who we might take at Devops. You may come across these issues here and there. So let's see what it is. List it. And if you notice, there is a directory called web apps. There is something called web apps and there is something called web apps. Just list both of them. Okay, so there's nothing in web apps dist. Then list web apps dist. And web apps dist. Okay, so ideally what is happening is in Tomcat, for some reason what they're doing is they're putting all these root, doc, and all these folders and files in the web app distribution rather than the web apps. Whereas when you run the application, it is actually accessing the web apps and there are no files there. So one step we generally do is we need to move all these things. We need to copy all these things is what we need to do into the web apps from the dist folder. Okay, Rahul?
Can you repeat that? Or what?
Generally, by default, when you're running the web apps, Tomcat, it is accessing the folder web apps. And when they have packaged this one and they've given it in their official documentation, what they've done is they have purposefully separated all the running files into webapps.dist. They have not put it purposefully into web apps. So what we need to do is we need to copy it. Maybe it's a security reason or something like that. They have separated it so that the admins will manually do this, is what it is. So what you can do is you can say cp-r, cp space -r, capital R, star space // web apps / web apps / yeah, enter it. In which directory you're in Tomcat, right? Oh, sorry. Go into the directory, go into the web apps first and do it from there. You can directly do it from here also, but okay, you're just verifying. Okay, now go back to the browser, refresh it. Okay. So now what we have is we have our Tomcat server. The Tomcat server is running inside a container in a Docker host or a Docker server.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to automate the entire process one more time so that it gets deployed automatically is what we should try to do. Now come back to the git bash, exit out of the container, verify the container, ps-a, docker ps-a. We have one container running. Now go ahead and stop this one, say docker stop, tomcat-container. Okay, verify docker ps-a. Notice the status is exited. Now come back to the browser and refresh it. Okay, so it is stopped. Catching it, Rahul?
Yeah. So do we need to only pass this URL in Jenkins for that Tomcat? And
Oh, one more time, please.
do we need to pass only this URL like to the Jenkins, and it will work similar to this Tomcat? Or is there something?
We'll see. We're slowly coming there. Short answer is yes. You need to give it the Tomcat URL. If you recall, that's what we have done earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can also, I don't think we need to. So now, ideally, what we have done is we have done a few steps manually. What our objective is, we'll try to automate this one also. Okay, so for that, what we'll do is whatever steps we have done, we'll try to create a Docker file and have the Docker file do all these steps for us.
Okay.
So for that, just go ahead and create a Docker file, vi Docker file. capital D. And let me copy paste this one. Give me one moment. Come back here. Okay, copying and pasting. This one. Paste it. Copy paste this one. Okay, so from CentOS is what we have given here, but okay, from CentOS means it is going to pick up the CentOS image from the Docker. Run is generally your Linux command if we're installing Java. Within in the CentOS is a base image, in that we're installing Java. Then we're creating a directory called opt tomcat. That's what we have manually done in our Tomcat server. Then we are moving. Work directory means we're kind of saying go to the directory, and then we are downloading the 0.54, catching it, Rahul.
So this command will run inside the container, right?
Yeah, this is the thing which Docker will run.
Okay.
Docker will run step by step. It is going to pull the CentOS image. It is going to add Java. Then it is going to add Tomcat to it.
Yeah.
It's going to unzip it. And it is going to expose port 8080.
So previously what we did is we have downloaded a Tomcat image. Now we are downloading CentOS image and installing Tomcat over it. Okay.
Yes. So this is like a base image right from the beginning. Are you catching it?
Yes, yes.
So, and the last one, expose 8080 is internal port, command, and let's say OPT. That is what is going to start the Catalina.sh is going to be when the Docker image is ready, it will run this one and it will start the Tomcat server. Right and put it, please.
So do we need to change this port or?
No, this is the internal port. We'll change the external.
Okay.
Keep it the same. Now we'll build this Docker files. For that, say Docker build -t. We'll say my Tomcat space dot
Okay.
yeah, enter. So it is going to pull this CentOS image and it is going to do all these things step by step. See.
Now prepare internal.
Download metadata for repo, cannot prepare mirror, no URLs in mirror list. Let's say cat the Docker file. Tomcat 9. Just now go back to the Tomcat server.
Tomcat server.
So there's another git bash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to get the URL. There is a change in URL history. This one. And scroll up. Okay, somewhere we did a wget here today. Wait, yeah, this one. Copy that URL because they're running in the latest. They're not running this version. Yeah, modify this file so that it will point to this URL. And here, you remove that. Don't make the change manually like that. Copy the whole thing and paste the URL here.
Should I remove this URL and paste it?
I mean that part of it. You manually delete it. Sorry, and insert the URL. Okay, so, okay, save it, run it, write and quit and run it. You cannot prepare any, no, have you changed it? Cat the file one more time. It is on the, so it looks good. You're adding that one. And what does it say? Run yum install CentOS app stream. Cannot prepare internal mirror list. Yum install java -y. Return the command bin yum install java. It's failing on yum install java -y. This is an image. We are bringing this CentOS image and we're trying to manually install that. It's having some issue with yum install there. We can just change it to apt get, or maybe what should we do? We can also do Jenkins, Amazon Linux. What was that one? Amazon -Linux, and do a tab -tab extras. I think Amazon Linux extras. Yeah, instead of yum, just put Amazon Linux extras in that. Go back to the file and put this on. Okay. Okay, run it. Change it to apt get. One last try. apt-get, right? -get. Hi, what is that, man? Okay, Rahul, what you do is, if time permits, just give a little bit of time and try to take care of this one. Put the right command there. All it's we need to do is give the right package there. I don't know why yum is not working, but I need to get into another call today. We'll continue here from, let's see where we are. We'll continue here from Monday, Rahul. Okay. Okay, Rahul.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Am I audible?
You guys take care, stay safe, and keep learning, guys. Signing off for today. Thank you.